Stormy West Coast Rap, man, and welcome to my podcast, You Bitch.
Say, man,
Finally, huh?
you hear me?
Yeah.
How I sound?
Yes. Welcome back to another episode of YeahDat the podcast, hosted by yours truly, the homie West Coast Rap, man. YeahDat. First and foremost, the views and opinions you hear on this show are just that, views and opinions. So if you're offended, disagree with them, or just don't like them, well, there's a simple solution to that, and that's stop listening. But if you care to partake on this ride, then keep riding and keep listening, man. And I thank you for that. Yeah, that. So, on the last episode, we were talking about authenticity, originality, being yourself, and then we touched bases about voting, because it's a big thing coming up. So, we just covered how authenticity usually pays off, originality pays off for you, and I used the homie Dogface, the Ocean Spray skateboarder guy, for the example, and how his originality and authenticity paid off for him. He got his little fame and whatnot. So, we covered that. We also covered voting, and I asked a couple questions on the last podcast, and to everybody who answered, thank you for showing that love and reaching back out and just participating, man. I got I think a couple answers. They were all, for the most part, similar baselines. One in particular stood out to me. It was by my homie Undefined Spectrum. Shout out to homie Vern, man. Check out undefinedspectrum.com for his merch, and he's got a lot of things coming. So check him out, Undefined Spectrum. Yeah, that. But he said he is voting. He's registered to vote. He finds it important, and he believes that the most important vote is the local vote, which I agree with, man. That is a true statement right there. He also said we as a country should be more keen on who is running out of states, counties, who the board of educators are, and the judges in your town. When we get to that point, we will see a better America, man. Well said, homie. Well said. And I totally agree. People are too wrapped up in, like, oh yeah, presidential. He's running for president. Woo woo. He's going against him. Woo woo. But your congressionals, your judges, your board of educators, those are all important positions that are being held for you locally, and those people can make a bigger impact for you locally, you personally, also your family, within your own town, man. So when you go out to vote on November 3rd, make sure you're doing your research, man, and you're listening, and you're checking out who your local congressionals are, your local congressional candidates, your judge candidates, board candidates, so on and so forth, man. But also I chopped it up with one of the homies, man, and he always gets in depth when it comes to the whatever topics we're talking about, and I appreciate him, man. Shout out to the homie Paul. Yeah, that. And I'm gonna have him on the show too, man, because I guarantee that episode is gonna be fire, because that fool is opinionated and he stands by his opinions. So it's gonna be a good episode. But we had a conversation about loyalty, because we touched bases on loyalty and following and all that stuff in regards to authenticity and originality and people flocking to you. So we covered that, and he had some good points, man, and good opinions, and I appreciate you for listening and reaching out, man. I appreciate everybody who listened, reached out, answered the questions, shot me their answers and all that, man. I truly appreciate y'all. Thank you. But for today's episode, man, we're going to actually let me get to the shout out. Shout out to all the people, all the listeners out there, man. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate it. I can't even explain in words. All the positive feedback I've gotten thus far from those who have listened. I truly thank you for taking the time to listening to what I have to say and just tuning into the show and showing that support, man. I truly appreciate y'all for that. Yeah. Also, shout out to everybody who went out there and voted early, man. Trying to get ahead of the craziness that's going to happen within the next week or two. Shout out to all the early voters. I personally voted on Thursday, and it was a smooth process, man. There was a little line, but it took probably tops 15 minutes to go in there for them to check me out, check me in, and then set me up. So shout out to the early voters, and then shout out to just people going to vote, period. You're a part of something historic, so shout out to you guys for going and voting. Hopefully your vote is the right one. Also, man, here, shout out to my guest today, man. My little big bro. I know you've heard me shout him out on the first episode. For those of you who are loyal and stay in tune with the episodes, man. Shout out to my guest today, my man Gonzalo. He is my guest today, and I guarantee this episode is going to be so entertaining. But my man, known as, actually he changed his name. I was shouting him out as Yancey Street on the first episode, but he changed his name. So I'll let him go into all that and explain who he is, explain where you can find him at and all that. But we're gonna go into our topic for the day with my homie, man. So a little history of my homie Gonzalo, my man Big G. We met while he was still in the service. I'm still in the service. He was in the service a couple of years back. He was one of my little youngsters. You know what I'm saying? One of those ones who you take under your wing and you help out and you guide. You mentor. And from there, our relationship just bonded like some brothers, man. Like, we've known each other for years. Now, mind you, I'm older than him, but he always sought after me and sought me out like I was at his actual big brother. So from that day that we met to this day, man, it's been about 7 years now. Damn, time flies, man. About 6 or 7 years. Me and my man Conchi have been tight, man. Tight like fucking white chonies, man. We've been tight for 6 years, and I love the dude like he's my own flesh and blood brother. And today we're just gonna go over some things about a topic that him and I used to partake in when we were on them deployments, man, and that's people watching. We used to just sit, when there was downtime during the workday, which there's somewhat, it's kind of often. But anyway, we used to sit and just watch people, as they walked by. It ain't judging. It ain't being a creeper. It's just, like I said, I'm a people person. People are an extraordinary species. And just, you can see the difference in people just by their mannerisms and how they walk and carry themselves. But people watching was something we used to do. We used to have fun doing it, chilling on the block, chilling on the stoop. But without further ado, we're about to go into this episode with my man Gonzalo. You can find him on Twitch, IG, Discord, all that stuff, man. But let's roll right into that mug. So let's go. YeahDat. Yeah, so we're good. We're going right now.
We're live.
YeahDat, man.
What's up, brother?
Shit, man. First, I want to say thank you for partaking in this podcast with me, my man.
Hey, I'm happy. I'm happy to see it come to fruition from an idea in the text the other day to this.
Yes, sir, man. You really inspired me to actually start it, man. And now that I started it, it's fun as hell, bro.
It is fun, right? But it's like work though.
No, it is. Yeah. The whole editing process is crazy because it's like you have to make sure it flows in one thing.
Yeah. And it's also work just like getting to it. Like even like we had plans to do the podcast the other day and like life came up. So then that creates more work for you than even us figuring out the steps to this, to this is setting this up is work. It's all work and it can be overwhelming sometimes. And like, especially if you fall behind schedule, but like, as long as you have fun with it, which is like, even like you can just tell by listening to your first 2 episodes that you're having fun with it, it's always going to be fun.
Oh man, I appreciate that, man. And prior to actually getting on with you right now, I kind of like started it out. So I led into you.
Okay.
Coming onto the mic, you know what I mean? So I'm proactive with it. So I want you to go ahead and give a little intro about yourself, man.
About me?
Yes, sir.
Starting from like all time.
Yeah, all time.
All right, check it out. I was born on July 8th. My name is Gonzalo. I'm from Massachusetts originally. I now live in Texas. I met Rob here in the Navy. I don't remember when, what time. I don't remember it was during a deployment, and I remember you showed up, and I was like, man, look at this small ass dude, man. No, I'm playing. I remember you showed up, and I don't remember what the hell we talked about, but it was like an instant, like, oh, I like you. Like, I was like, we said something. I said something, you agreed with me, and I was like, okay, I like that guy. And then it was like, we just talked every now and then, and we just became like best friends.
Yes, sir.
Like, and that's pretty much it. All I do is I've dabbled in music. I dabble in writing. I dabble in a lot of things. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. That's what they say, right?
Yeah. That's right.
But that's honestly, that's really it for me.
Yeah. So I led it into like how we met, how long we've met. We've been friends now for like 6-7 years now, man. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. That's a long time, man.
Yeah. And I told him like, it's just the chemistry was just there instantly, and it's like, I don't know. To me, I don't see you as a friend. I see you as my brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
I agree.
We're tight like that, you know.
That's why if you see every time I text about you or I post about you, whatever, I'm always like, oh, my older brother has his podcast. My big brother, my big brother this, my big brother that, because it's been like that since I met you.
Right on. And that's why I led into that, man. So I also led into something that we enjoyed doing when we were on deployment. What was that, man?
Yeah, hanging on the block.
That's right. People watching. Right?
People watching was it was like an art form back then. So it started off with just me and you. I remember it was just
for real.
It was just me and you, kind of like under our breath, being like, "Dude, look at that girl over there, man. What does she think she's doing with that makeup? You know what I mean? Like it's 100 degrees. What do you think you do to try to look nice? You know what I mean? Look at that guy, man, thinking he's big. Look at that guy thinking he's big and swole walking around. It was everyone was a target. No one was safe. But we were doing it so often, I think that people started to like sit with us.
Yeah.
And like people tried to emulate what me and you were just doing already. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
And it became a thing. Also, why did no one ever tell us to go back to work?
I don't know. Like we would sit out there for hours.
I remember people would walk by us and they'd be like, "What are you guys doing?" And we'd be like sitting here.
Yeah.
And they're like, "All right." And they go,
okay.
And they would just walk.
Like, enjoy.
And,
That's funny. It's funny that you said that, because when I led into us people watching before you came on, I was like, yeah, no, we didn't sit there and judge people. It was kind of like watching people. But We totally judge people,
It
I
was
guess.
it was for comedy, is what it was.
No, yeah, for real.
It was
Comic
like
relief, man.
it was to make. I think it was to see how bad you could roast, how funny you could roast someone to make the other person laugh. So
Yeah, yeah.
like if like I said, like I'd see some guy walking around, and we would start commenting on anything. We would make stuff up, even, you know what I mean? Be like, oh man,
Yeah.
he's looking like he's gonna go do XYZ, and then but it was to see who would get the bigger and better reaction from the other person. That's so it's like it wasn't judgmental at all, but it was like a roast session, and we were
Yeah.
the only people aware of it.
For real. And
Like,
so we'd be there cracking up and people would walk by like, what are these dudes doing? What is up with these dudes? Just dying laughing.
and it's funny because up until I texted you the other day and I said, "Do you remember when we would get like fake loud with each other and then bring
Yeah.
bring innocent people into the conversation?"
Yeah.
I remember that was also a part of the block because we'd be like, "Man, I don't care if that girl walking to the smoke pit can hear me." You know what I mean? It was like, and then the girl like walking would be like, "Me? Like, are you guys talking
I
about
completely
me?"
forgot about that, man.
I thought about it. I think I was like in bed and I thought about it. I just started busting up. It was just
Funny, man.
so many of those memories.
Yeah, for real, man. It's like, and then when you have that memory or those memories with like a certain person, that sticks with you forever, man.
I agree.
So today's topic, man, is
Here we go.
people. Since it was
Okay.
people watching, people.
Yeah.
So we kind of covered the people watching aspect of it and what we did. So questions for you, my man.
Let's hear it.
So we already talked about friends and how long we've been friends.
Yes, sir.
For you, what do you consider a friend, and what do you expect from those you consider friends, man?
I like this question a lot. So I want to start by saying that since getting out of the military, I think I've had like my base group of friends my whole life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And even then, like, you have more acquaintances. I have like two best friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you have like a bunch of acquaintances, and then that number grows, exponentially when you join the military. Like, you meet so many people.
Right.
But then ever since getting out of the military, I have had like a hard time. It's hard because it's like when you make that connection with someone like as tight as like we were, like, in 84 birthing, like I was talking about it with Yoshi the other day.
Yeah.
Like, it's like impossible to recreate that connection you have with somebody on the outside, because it's like you're not doing the same things as you were. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I've made some very, very good friends. You know what I mean? I've also made some friends that ended up being. Can I swear on this podcast?
You can.
That been like shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I've made like mistakes in making friends. I've made like some great friends. Like, so, but the thing is, as simple as this sounds, you'd be surprised how hard it is to find in someone. The one thing that I expect, if I'm like, I consider you my friend,
Mhm.
is I want you to treat me the way you want to be treated.
Right. I agree.
And it sounds you learn that in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
you learn that when you're a child, but it's like though I'm almost 30 years old, and I still have been encountering people who like would step on your neck to get up, or like would dog you for their own insecurity, or they'll tear you down because they don't want to see you do your thing, like be the man, be successful, et cetera, et cetera. I've seen it all,
agreed.
bro. I've seen it all.
Right.
So
Same here, my man.
And it's like, and again, kind of going back to like, I joined the Navy when I was 18 years old, like right out of high school, and it kind of like it set the standard for like a lot of things, good and bad, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, but since we're focusing on people, like on friendships, it's like I expect that, like to me, a friend is someone who's like, oh, I just worked with you for 14 hours, and now I want to watch a movie with you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's like if your friend if a friendship's not on that level, then it's like, in my mind, because I'm so used to it, I'm like, oh, is it even like is that dude even down for you? You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Oh man, I like that.
That's how I feel. But it's hard. You can't expect that though.
No, not at all. And I think that's where a lot of people, they usually, when they meet people and then they build that relationship, they kind of go in already expecting like, all right, this is my friend. This is,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? He's going to be cool with me. And then when it happens and that person doesn't turn out to be the person they think, then it's like, man, fuck you, fuck people, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
It's
You
hard.
know?
It is heartbreaking though.
No, yeah, for sure. For sure. Like me, you know, I'm sensitive, man, you know?
Well, I need to hear. What about you? I want to hear your. I know you're the host, but I want to hear your perspective on it.
No, of course. So what I consider a friend to me is that person, like if you have to question whether that person is going to do something for you or whatnot, then that person to me is not a closest a friend than you think. But I consider a friend that person who, you know, I can call if I'm down, I can call you whenever.
I
And
agree.
talking to you and it's just uplifting. You know, if I'm in a bind or I need some help, whether like the severity of it is really like crucial, that you're that person that's going to be there to help me out as much as you can, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just consider, because me personally, I know me as a person, like I only know me and how I am and who I am. And I already know the way I was brought up that I take my friendships like serious, especially when it's that person that I feel like, damn, this is my motherfucking homie right here.
Yeah.
Like I'm loyal to that person.
I
So
know you are,
yeah. So if
and you've
I mean,
proven that to me.
yeah, man, you know, that's like you, I consider you one of my fucking close best friends, man. You know, it's just
For
like,
life, man. It's mutual.
yeah, like if anything were to happen to you and you needed me, fool, I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? I'll be
Yes,
there.
sir.
But yeah, for friends, I don't know. To me, it's like that person has to have that connection with you to where it's like, all right, well, shoot, Rob just got in a wreck and he's fighting fucking 8 bald, big bald dudes with beards and bikes. Like I'm gonna ride up there right now, leave work and go help him or something. Like,
Yeah.
you know, something along the lines of that, man. You know?
I'm like, man, this dude living Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, for real. So I don't know. I take friendship like serious because, you know, I had a little sister growing up.
Yes, sir.
And I was like the father figure in my household. It was me, my sister, and my mom. So I didn't have that father figure to look up to, like, okay, this is the type of man I gotta be. So I took that void, and my friends that I grew up with, I saw them as like, okay, these are my bros. All right, cool. This is who I can look up to. This is who I can channel stuff to as on a male level, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't have any brothers. So when it comes to friends and like male friends, it's like I take that very serious because not having the brothers, it's like, all right, man, these are my brothers. This is all I know, my friends.
And something that I learned when I was like recently, like within like the last few years, is that like it's like kind of going on, back to the joke you said though. Like I know you were joking, but I want to say it like on a serious note. Like I respect and admire a friend, like your physical. It's like, how do I word this? It's like saying like your physical capacity has nothing to do with how much I respect you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you were like, dude, I would die for you, I would kill someone for you, I would XYZ. It's like cool, but like that's not what makes me like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could be like I've had friends who have thrown punches in my name for next to nothing, right? Yeah. I've also had friends who would never in their life throw a punch, who I loved tenfold more than the person who would fight blindly for me. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Because it's like the person's character, like it's like the character that earns the respect, and the respect is what gives you the loyalty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that's how I feel about it.
Hell yeah, man. All along the same track, man. We're following the same lane, man.
We tracking, man.
Yeah, we tracking. You know what I'm saying? We tracking. Yeah, man.
I like that.
Also, that the friends, to me, it's like, okay, like for example, I've experienced this like recently. So me and a friend are tight. You know what I'm saying? It's my boy. Have his back or whatever, and then all of a sudden, he flips the script on me, and it's just like, all right, he don't fuck with me anymore.
Yeah.
So me, like, me being me, I don't see that as like, all right, well, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't fuck with you anymore. I let that person know, like, yo, I don't know what's up with you, but just know that if you need me, I'm here. I
that's
still
the
got
way to
love for you.
be.
Exactly. And then, I'm here for you. Like, whatever you're going through, man, if you need help, I'm here for you. I got you. But do what you got to do, and then holler at me one day. And and recently that friend who I'm referring to has reached back out, and we just picked back up where we left off, man.
That's a very similar situation, very very similar situation happened with me, and I'm not going to go into too specifics, but I had a friend who was like my, you know, like my right hand. I was his right hand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like we were like boys,
yeah,
and I made a decision to like kind of like not. I removed myself from a negative situation. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
And that person was kind of tied to the situation. Chose to kind of lean towards that. I chose to lean towards my side, and it like split us up as friends, right?
Yeah,
And for like a year, we didn't speak. It was like all animosity on his end. All I never changed.
right.
I always still showed mad love and respect whenever anyone brought his name up. But then he calls me one day at like at like 5:30 in the morning, bro, and it was like the virus has just been like new. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure like it was snowing. It was crazy, and I drove like an hour to go see him, and he was like all emotional, and he was like freaking out, and I'm pretty sure he was like drinking the night before, and he was like, "Man, you left me high and dry." He's like, "You left me hanging." He's like, "What if I needed you? Like, what if I called you one morning and I needed you?" And I was like, "Hey, man, it's 5 in the morning and I'm here right now."
yeah,
I was like, "What does that tell you?"
yeah.
And instantly he realized that, like you said, like that's always just been the person that I am. Like even though like I'm not like I had to separate myself from the situation. You know what I mean?
Of
But then he
course.
saw that like, I was still loyal to him, and it was instantly like any negative thought that he had was squashed, and it was just like back to normal.
Yeah, yeah.
We still didn't hang out anymore, but it was still he was just like, "Hey, I love you, man."
No, no, yeah,
And
of
I was like,
course.
"I know, bro, I love you too."
Yeah, that respect and that love is there, man. Regardless, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Life is crazy, man.
Oh yeah, for sure, man, for sure. So I mean, let's lighten the mood a little bit, right?
Yeah, yeah, man. This is getting dark, man. We go down some dark corridors, man.
Nah, man, this is just real stuff right here, man. People.
Anyways, next question, man. I need you to tell me the first time you got your heart broken,
Oh
man.
man, the first time your dog died, So you personally, we've been friends for a while. I know
Yes,
you've come and gone from the whole social media
oh,
environment,
a million
Yeah,
times.
yeah, for sure. And so every time I see you come back, it always brings me joy. It's like, oh, I get to watch my bro now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
He's
sir.
back.
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, followers, right? Who do you
Okay.
follow, and why do you follow them?
So I want to start this question by saying that I have a very love and hate relationship with social
Oh
media.
yes, yes, me too.
Like, and like you said, like I've deleted more Instagrams than people like make them. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
I
Like
agree. I agree. I
I
think
make one,
I
delete
remember
it. Make
4
one,
of your
delete
names.
it. And like I dislike social media so much because of this isn't even what the question is about, but I have to
No,
say
no,
it.
yeah, go ahead.
Is I don't like when people put on an image for strangers that's not who they are.
Right.
Men
Fake.
and women.
Yeah, of
Men and
course.
women. So it's just like I dislike it so like dude so much that it gets under my skin, and then I start to like resent that person. I'm like, "Oh, why can't you just be yourself?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why do you have to? Why do you post something because you think someone else is gonna like it? Why do you say something, etc.? Like, why are you not just acting like yourself?
Yep.
And I see it, and then it gets too much for me. Then I'm like, I'm deleting this. So then, but I'll pull up my phone. Man, I got my phone right here. Hold
Yeah, pull it up, man.
on. Okay, so but as much as I hate social media, I have two Instagrams right now.
Oh, okay, I didn't
I
know
have the
that.
one for the me, I have like mine, and then I
Hmm.
have one for like my games and stuff.
Yeah. Hey
The
man,
ones that
which one am I following, man?
you follow my private one.
Okay, good. I'm about to say, whoa, let's just end this episode right here, right now.
Nah, I got you on I got you on the throwaway account. So I follow like a very small group of homies. Like obviously I follow you, and I follow just like all my little my like the people that I like fuck with that I
Yeah,
talk to almost daily,
yeah.
right? And then I follow tons of people from the Navy. I follow like a few people that I like, grew up with, and that's it really. For I don't follow any celebrities.
Yeah.
I follow. I'm going to check to see if I do. I'm going through the list. Okay, I follow like a few writers,
I mean,
like
it's
a few
cool
people
though.
who write comics because
Not your
I'm just
thing.
like yeah, like a fan of their work, and
Yeah, for
I like to
sure.
see when they put new stuff out. And then I follow a few artists who draw like just cool shit that I like to see. And I think that's it. Oh yeah. Oh, David Goggins, because I need him in my
I
life.
mean, who doesn't need David Goggins?
I need David Goggins in my life because I need to know how much of a bitch I
Oh
am.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, and same here. I got a
I-
buddy who was all about him, and shout out to my homie Z. He was like, man, David Goggins, man, David Goggins. So I looked this dude up, and I was like, oh my
Bro,
gosh, I'm not
I used
worthy.
to. I'm not.
You know?
And but the thing is like I was going through like a rough patch, gym and health wise, like
Hmm.
a year ago, maybe a year and a half, and I don't know what it was, but I found like a clip of him. It was like a 10-minute clip of him just being like inspirational, right? And I
Yeah,
was like, wow, that was kind of dope.
yeah,
But so then I found his Joe Rogan episodes,
yep,
and I listened to one all the way through, and I was like, bro, I'm not gonna complain anymore.
exactly.
I was like, I'm not gonna complain. I'm just gonna fucking do it. And I would work out, I would run, work out, and then sauna for like 20, 30 minutes after my workouts, and I would listen to the same David Goggins episode, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like on Monday, I would listen to 30 minutes, and then on Tuesday in the sauna, I would listen to the other 30 minutes, and then on Wednesday, et cetera, et cetera.
yeah, man. That dude's something else, man. Something
And then
else.
and then I follow comedians
I mean, of course, though, you know.
because I'm like a wannabe comedian
No,
sometimes.
no, it's
So
cool, man.
yeah,
Like laughing for like if I need a laugh, like I'll think about something we did, or I'll call you or text you or something, and guaranteed laugh. You know what I
it's
mean?
you and Whitesides I do that with.
Ah, Whitey.
I'll do, and it's funny because I think you were there. I said a quick Whiteside story. I remember he was walking. I don't remember if I said it or if you said it, but I said one of us was like, "Man, why does Whitesides look like a villain from a movie?" Because he's like, "Ooh, Chief wants me to get a haircut."
Yeah, like no, and then he would do the lean in thing with his hands in his pocket, like yo,
Yeah.
hey. I said no, and I just went to the birthing and hid. Like damn that Batman.
Dude, I talk to him. You and him are the people that I keep in touch with the most.
Right on, man. Shout out to Anthony.
Anthony, old Whitey,
Yeah, doing big things, man. I see him being real professional, you know.
and Gardner. I actually got in touch with Gardner recently.
Hey,
Too.
G Bear, that's my guy right there, man.
I know, I love him to death.
Man, I spoke to
I
him
was
the other day.
like, he was like, "What's up, man?" I was like, "Oh, I'm doing all right. How are you?" He's like, whatever. And I'm like, "Bro, like I've been playing that flight simulator game." And he was like, "Yo, that's my shit." And I was like, "Yo, I love planes." And he was like, "Dude, come up here. I'll get you your pilot's license." I was
Yeah,
like,
he's a
"All right,
pilot
chill
now.
out." I know. I was like, "All right, chill out, though, dude."
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, "Relax, man. I'm
So
not trying to do that."
for me and him, Doc, when you left, me and him fucking clicked. Like his name is Stray Cat, bro. Shout out to Stray Cat, you know what I'm saying? G Bear. You know what I mean?
He's the man.
Yeah. So we had this thing, and I was like, it was yesterday, I believe I reached out to him. I was watching something, and they were showing the clip of Jules and Vincent from Pulp Fiction. You ever seen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we,
You ever see Pulp Fiction?
Fuck,
Hey man, you
of
ever
course.
see? Hey, you ever seen a movie that's everybody in the world has seen?
yeah, yeah, Hall of Fame.
Hey, what's up, man? You ever seen a movie that everybody watches when they're 16?
Hey man, not everybody's seen Pulp Fiction, man. You know, only cool people have seen Pulp Fiction, man.
Hey man, have you ever seen that movie that everybody references in every movie ever, bro?
But me and Stray Cat we were like for Halloween, we're like, yo, 1 year, we're gonna be fucking Jules and Vincent. Only I'm
Oh
gonna
my
be Vincent
God.
and he's gonna be Jules. So we were like, yo, we're gonna dress up and we're gonna go to Seattle and we're gonna do it. And it didn't work out. So then I texted him yesterday. I'm like, yo, we got to do it 1 year, man. Halloween's coming up. He's like, for sure. So I sent him a GIF of
Yeah.
Jules and Vincent, and I took the Reface app and I put our faces on each one of them. Hilarious. I'll send it to you, fool.
Yes, please.
Fool. So to go back to the followers. So for
Yes,
me,
I'm sorry.
no worries. Me personally, that like, so I follow like fitness stuff, like cycling, bodybuilding, and I follow a lot of homies and friends and like, you know, acquaintances and stuff. However, there are like, I have friends who like I'm really cool with that I don't follow. Like, why is it?
That's interesting.
Yeah, why is it you follow like those friends on your following list?
I'll mute them. Like if I don't like the shit that someone's doing, I'll mute them so I don't see them anymore.
Oh, okay.
But it's because I feel I don't want to be like, oh my bad, I don't follow you.
Yeah, and it's crazy how people get offended by that. You know what I mean?
It's all, yeah. I mean, I would get offended if I was posting anything like worth value, but it's not. I'm like not. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If I was posting like something that I wanted people like writing or music,
right?
You know what I mean? And someone was like, "Oh, I'm your friend, but I don't follow you," then I'd be like, "Oh, come on, bro."
Yeah.
But I'm not posting pictures of like Power Rangers and like my cat and.
I mean, that's your personal shit, so who cares?
Hey, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so the question was, why do I follow who I follow?
Yeah, like the friends, like the friends.
It's kind of like how you said, like you get happy when you see me pop up because then you get to like tune in for a little while.
Yeah,
like it's kind of the same thing for that. Like I'm scrolling through like my followers now, and like this dude Tommy Ray, he was in the Navy. He was in G3.
Oh, no, Ray, fool. Tommy Ray.
Yeah. And him and I, we weren't like boys, but like every time we like talked and hung out, it was always dope.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It was always like mad love and respect.
Right.
We had a lot in common. We just never hung out because it was just different worlds. You feel me?
Right.
And so I added him, and I'm like, oh, bro, this is dope. Now I get to say what's up to you. Now I get to see how your life's going. I get to like comment on your cool pictures of your motorcycle. Like,
yeah.
So it's like through Instagram, a relationship is like it's literally the same as it was in person with him.
Right.
Like I would talk to him every now and then, comment on something he's doing. So be it.
Yeah, because it was like more so in passing.
Yes, that's the word.
Right on.
And then I like to follow people who like kind of post shit that I like regardless. You know what I mean? So like I'm looking at this random dude right now. My friend Steve. Shout out to Huey. He is a wrestler.
Mm-hmm. Like a WWE wrestler?
No, but it's like he's a professional wrestler, but it's called Kaiju Big Battle.
Yeah.
And where they'll dress up like giant monsters and like they wrestle each other. Yeah, like like Kaiju is yeah. And so he's the American Beetle. Shout out to the American Beetle, and he like does like legit shit, like off the top rope flying backflip wrestling.
Damn,
but
that sounds interesting as fuck.
Yeah, but they're in like monster costumes.
That's cool, dog.
And I'm like, yo, this is this is fucking dope. Like, of course, I want to see more and more. Like, I'm looking at the picture. I'm gonna send it to you right now so you can get the live reaction on your podcast.
Yeah, let me get that.
Oh, it might be private. Hold on, I just took a screenshot.
That sounds cool, though, man.
All right, just in case it's private, I sent you a screenshot.
Word.
Let me know if you get that. You get that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
But yeah, what about do you like? So you follow? I'm assuming you follow fitness because it motivates you or it gives you insight into your competition.
Yeah, I mean it's like the thing I'm into. Like I'm always into health and fitness. So I don't follow everybody's fucking fitness thing because everybody's a fitness guru. But like,
of course,
the legitimate people, like I'll follow them or I'll look to them for like guidance on something that I don't know. I follow like I follow like old school bodybuilding stuff, but I also follow like there's a profile called the Posture Pro, which it's a podiatrist and she goes over like your feet and how your feet placement and taking care of your feet dictates the rest of your body, like knee pain. It alleviates back pain, all by insoles and stretches you can
Yeah.
do and stuff like that.
You know what's funny is I think I follow a similar page
Yeah.
on my other Instagram where it's like it's the same thing about your posture of your feet and how the way you stand will affect the depth in your squat.
Yep. Yeah.
And I was like, I had no idea.
Yeah, man. I try to follow like legitimate, like educated people. Mind you, if you go through my followers, there's some people on there that are like, all right, everybody follows him, but for the most part, when I'm scrolling through, like I'll look at people who I talk to here on the norm, and then it's like a couple bodybuilders. I even follow like bikini chicks because not to look at them or whatnot, like for everybody listening and shit. But so for dudes, real quick, so like for me, I do classic physique. You wear the little trunks and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
chonies.
Yeah, your little chonies. You know what I mean? The little black chonies. That ain't the banana hammocks like the true bodybuilders, but you got to have like legs. Well, you got to have hamstrings, quads, and glutes too. So a lot of dudes, they'll like, all right, I squat and I do this to work out my hamstrings and my glutes. But to me, it's like the athletes with the best hamstrings and glutes are like bikini chicks. So why don't you take what they're doing and then modify it to make it fit you? That way you can work out your glutes and your hamstrings, but not look like a total bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why
leg day.
I follow.
Never skipped leg day.
Yeah, I follow a lot of athletes and stuff like that. But for the most part, I get on IG to like see what my people got going on, and then I'll get off. I'm not like really glued to it like that, and to promote my own stuff. You know what I mean?
I also like the idea of using Instagram to. Sorry if you hear my chair in the background. No, it's like, it's like help. But I like the idea of using something like Instagram to. It's like meant to share stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So like I like using it as a photo album, or I like posting. Like if I'm listening to a song and I'm vibing, I'm gonna post it on my story because it's like I want someone else to check that out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that, like, I believe that's how it should be used.
Yeah, exactly. If it's if you have a business profile, then okay, boom, put your portfolio on there or whatever. But your own account, then put what you want on there. Like I do the same thing. I post music. Like if I'm experiencing something that no one else will ever experience or see, then it's like I'm gonna post it. Like when I flew in the helicopter a couple weeks ago.
That was dope.
Yeah, it's like I know a lot of people aren't gonna be able to experience this, so I'm gonna post it on here so they can see it. You know what I mean?
Or like this morning, I woke up, bro. I was so excited for this podcast that I woke up at like 8:30 in the morning, and that doesn't sound impressive. But let me tell you how my sleep schedule's been. All right. So my girl works nights already, so I'm used to what I do when she works is I'll stay up all night, scoop her up in the morning, and sleep. Yeah. Because I'm trying to get I don't want her to feel like I don't know, like alone or something, whatever. But
and that way you can see each other. I mean, you guys won't.
Yeah. But because of that, like when on her days off, we'll be up until 6 a.m. You know what I mean? Like, and then we'll sleep until 2 or 3, and it sucks. Then we go to the gym, or she'll go. Like I haven't been going to the gym lately, but that's another story.
That's
but
all good.
She'll go to the gym and then rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Last night, I was like, at midnight, I said I should lay down because I got the podcast tomorrow. She was like, yeah. At 2 a.m, I'm like, man, I should really go lay down because I got that podcast tomorrow. And then at 3, I was like, okay, I got to go lay down. And I laid down, and by like 3:30, I was asleep. And I woke up at 8:30, bro. And I was like awake. Like, you ever wake up awake?
Yes. Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like I woke up and it was as if my eyes were open before I realized I was awake. Like I was ready to go. I got up, I did the dishes, I showered. I was like, let's fucking go. But then it was 9 a.m, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta wait till lunchtime.
My bad, man.
No, I mean I was excited. So I started watching this. I was on Netflix and I was like just going through the motions, and I found this anime from 1986 I've never seen before, and I put it on and I crushed like 7 episodes, and I was loving it so much. I messaged David Black about it, another AO that I keep in touch with. But I was like, man, I got to put this on my story in case I got some anime heads on my Instagram. So that's how that story connects to the Instagram.
Right on. Hell yeah. That's what's up, man.
Oh, there's my chair.
Cool. So,
Yes, sir.
roll into another question here for you, my man.
All right. Hey, keep it going. Keep it going.
So, society, me, I dislike society a lot, bro. I dislike it a lot. Like, I hate the fake reality shows and
you don't like reality TV?
Oh, no.
Like,
are you serious?
Like, you wouldn't watch one. Like, you hate it, but like, would you ever watch one?
So it depends on what show. Like, I hate Masked Singer. I hate Bachelorette. I hate America's Talent. Americans.
Oh no, that's trash.
Yeah, all that.
That's
all
trash.
that. I hate all that.
But like the Real World,
they still show the Real World.
They have remixes of the Real World now. Now it's like Real World. I'm making this up, but it's like Real World Fusion.
No,
and it's like,
nope,
bro.
I don't like any of that reality TV junk, man.
Neither did I. My girl that's the only TV she'll watch. Like, so like she'll watch that and then whatever's popular. You know what I mean? Whatever everyone's buzzing about, she'll watch. But then like,
see that
she'll just go back and watch Charm School,
like old school shows,
like over. Yeah, like the old school reality TV shows.
Yeah, I can't do it. Like, I can't do it.
Like, I Love New York.
Oh no. Flavor of Love.
No. Like the Floribama Shore. Do you know what that is?
That. Yeah, they had to stop that because old dude died.
Wait, who died?
We watched that on deployment. Remember that?
No, you're thinking of a different show. You're thinking of
oh no, we're thinking about I'm thinking about the Jersey Shore in the country. What was that called?
Oh, I forget what it's similar premise though. The Floribama Shore is in Panama City.
Yeah.
And that show slaps.
I'm not into any of that stuff, man. At all. So with that being said, society's views and trends and stuff, like trends and like everything that goes on, like that our society takes and like runs with. Like, how do you feel about that, man? Like for example, trends. My wife works with like the youth at like low income schools, and like right now she's a mental health counselor at this school that is it's college preparatory for like low income families and shit. So it's a good school. Like, yeah. But then prior to that, she was at the nearest high school, and she was like, man, what's up with these dudes? Like, they have like the bangs and it's like curly, and I like.
But the rest of their head is short. But it's like the front of their hair is long.
Like fools are perming their hair. Like white dudes are perming their hair to get it curly and shit like that. And it's like, what the fuck?
I honestly, I pay so little mind to trends because I've been, for better or for worse, I've been the same dude for the last. I mean, like style wise, for like my whole life. You know what I mean? Like I've always been like jeans and a hoodie or like shorts and a t-shirt. Yeah. Like I've been very, very whatever with trends, and I've had the same haircut. Like I've had everything.
Yeah.
So with trends, it's like hard for me to talk on that because I don't really know, but I've seen them on like social media and stuff. Like that haircut that your wife's talking about, that's like that e-boy haircut.
I guess.
Or like if you go on TikTok, like every man will have that haircut.
Okay.
It's weird.
Yeah, I don't even like, TikTok at all.
I wish I'm like, I hate that I'm flopping on this question, but because I wish I knew more trends. But like with like sneakerheads isn't a trend, but like off-whites, like, you know, I remember, you know how like are you into sneakers at all?
Hello? My bad, had an incoming call.
Hello?
Due to the technical difficulties, we can't do it on the computer, so I had to use my phone for the listeners listening out there.
You answer the call. You're like, hey, shut the fuck up, I'm on a fucking podcast right now.
It was my wife, and I'm like, nope. So I just texted her. I was like, podcast. So for the listeners out there, due to the technical difficulties, we had to do it on the phone because the program wasn't allowing me to do it on the computer. Next question. So check this out. So soft society is what I call this question, man.
Oh my
So
god.
now, you know, everybody is all about like equality and stuff like that, which is cool. Cool. So
Yeah.
for an
Yeah.
example, uh, my boss called me in the office. So I'm speaking in general terms for the civilians to understand. You know what I mean? So my boss calls me
Okay.
into his office. He wants to talk about my evaluation, my yearly evaluation, which is like a report card that you do for yourself every year. And he was just going over some stuff, like asking me questions like, "What is this?" Blah blah blah. And he was like, "Yeah, you know, me personally, I don't like to use pronouns, and I'm hearing that the big the big Navy or whatever is gonna put something out to where when you're writing like awards or evaluations or whatever, that you can't include pronouns, which are he, she, him, and all that stuff." And I'm just like,
Yeah.
"What?" And he was like, "Yeah, you know, gender equality."
Didn't they try that already? Did they try that with by removing
Oh
ornaments,
yeah, they were
men?
trying that.
I don't know. What's the question? I don't want to
Okay,
answer before
so
you ask the question.
no, yeah. So
Like, how do I
like
feel
for
about
me
it?
personally, it's like, okay, I get it. I get the whole equality stuff. Gender equality is cool. It needs to be equal, but at the same time, like removing pronouns from awards, like if that offends you, like if I'm writing an award for a female and she gets offended by me putting her or she, is like a little asinine to me. I mean, like, what do you think about that, man? It's just as a whole.
I definitely, like you said, I like 100% like get it and understand it. I think we're both a product of like a different generation, obviously. So we don't necessarily like we're
Yeah,
not on like ground level with it. You know what I mean? But like I feel like when it comes to something like an award as an example that you use, it's like it's. I think they've already been doing that. Like they'll like they're like, oh, their hard work and dedication to their whatever blah blah shows. That's why they're getting this award. So they've kind of. I feel like they've always avoided pronouns and stuff like that in the military, at least sometimes. But I just, it's like I feel like if it's something that's going to offend you, if it's like something that you're adamant about, it's something that like it's like you're the voice for it. So it's like if I knew I was going to get an award,
yeah,
I would like say something. You know what I mean? But I feel like to generalize everybody, like
yeah,
wouldn't that
exactly.
offend
And
other
it's not
people? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you're
right. And
burning
I'm
the
not just
candle at both
referring to
ends. You know what I
like
mean?
that aspect. I'm just talking about like society as a whole. Like if you go out in town and you do something to where it's like, all right, you know, you and your lady, or say you're eating somewhere and you're wearing
Mm.
a purple shirt or something, and the lady's like, "Oh, purple? What is that supposed to be?" Blah blah blah. It's like, are you serious? Like, you know,
Yeah,
like
that's
I
whack.
think nowadays people take the equality thing, and then they kind of like blow it out of proportion. Like if you're legit, if it's like a legit law or a legit situation where there's inequality, then cool. But like the little minute things, it's
Yeah.
like, all right, come on, man.
I feel like nowadays, like you said, it's
Yep.
like soft society. I think a lot of people like
Yeah.
want to be offended. Like a lot of people enjoy the drama or enjoy the chaos of
Yeah.
altercation. So it's like they'll find
Yeah.
reasons
I
to be
think so too,
offended.
man. And then it's like, all right, oh, we're getting into altercation. Let me pull my phone out and record you real quick. Yeah. You know,
Whack.
and that's just,
People. The thing is, men and women
yeah.
are
Yep.
created equal, right? Are all
No,
men
not
and
at
women
all.
created equal? No. Ready? And
So,
I'm gonna set it up. Ready? If you put me in a cage match with Holly
yeah, yeah.
Holm, she would
She's a
knock my
beast.
teeth out. Like she would knock my teeth out and fracture everything on my body, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't even stand a chance. You know what I mean? Do you think that person's getting offended?
No. Yeah, yeah.
No. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they have like a strong will. You know what I mean? They have a strong mind. They know that like even if it was something pertinent to them, they're like say like I
Mm,
didn't want to be addressed as him. You
yeah.
know what I mean? I wanted to be addressed as they. If you were like, oh, me and him were at the store, I wouldn't be like jumping down your throat. If it was something that was actually important to me,
Right.
I would first educate you, and then you'd probably say
Exactly.
sorry, and I'd be like, it's
Yeah.
okay, because guess what it
Yeah.
is, like you know what I mean. Like if so, especially It's a difference between
Oh yeah,
ignorance and acceptance. You know what I mean? Like if someone like wants to help you or like wants to be
yeah,
a part of the
exactly. Well
cause, they
said,
will
man.
be.
And
You know what
that's
I mean?
and I feel that way sometimes. Like if we go out to a restaurant, which we can't go out to restaurants, but BC times, you know what I'm saying, before Corona. Yeah, like
BC.
BC before
I
Corona. Shout
like
out to my
that.
sister for coming up with that. But we would go to like a restaurant and say like the attendant or the cashier was like homosexual or something, and like I say man a lot, like oh thanks man or whatever man, you know.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I say brother.
So then
I
it's
say
like
brother a lot.
if
Brother.
the person I'm talking to doesn't identify as a man or whatever, like I'll catch myself saying it. I'll take the order and then I just move on. But then I'll go to my wife and I'm like, oh, maybe I need to stop saying man because I don't know if that's gonna offend that person or if that offended that person. And she's like, oh yeah, you probably should. So I mean, it's just like little things like that. Like if I were to say that and then that person flipped the script on me, it's like, whoa. I mean, like, did that really offend you?
But I feel like it's also. I feel like if they flip the script on you without any correcting you, then that
Exactly.
person
And
just
that's what
wants
I'm
to be
talking about. It's
offended.
like
You know what I
using
mean?
those little things like that where if for me just saying, oh thanks, man, you know, and then that person be like, oh what?
Yeah.
I don't identify as a man, blah blah.
That's like if you gave me like a Snickers and I was like, you know, I'm allergic to peanuts. It's like no, I
I'm
didn't,
sorry.
but
Give me
like
my
now I
fucking Snickers
do.
back, dick.
Like
Yeah,
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 yeah, for real. You
yeah,
could have said
for
thanks,
real.
but no thanks. You know what I
Cool,
mean?
man. You know, I like to see how my view and my opinion compares with somebody else, someone similar, dog.
It's a very like tumultuous area. You know what I mean? It's very
Yeah.
like it's a gray area. Like even like just talking about it makes me
Yeah,
feel like I'm
exactly.
offending
It's,
somebody.
I
You know
mean,
what I
and
mean?
it's the new society nowadays. Like it's soft. Like
It
regardless
is.
if people see it or not, like it's a softer society nowadays. Certain things that we were able to do as kids or say as kids or in the 90s or early 2000s, you can't say nowadays.
Oh
And it's
yeah.
crazy. And I noticed that a lot with my kids because they're all about TikTok and other stuff like that. But people are a crazy species, man. Which leads me to the next little thing. So we're a unique species, and I know you used to be
hmm
part of a little clique that was called Alien Squad, man. Yeah. So
That's right.
yeah, you
Yeah,
believe
yeah,
in aliens,
that
man? You believe we're getting studied?
I do. I do. But before we go into that, you know what you should do? If you ever get your guests to say yeah, dad, it should be like
Oh, I
Pee Wee's
like it.
Playhouse where it's like, bro.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna do like a little thing, like a little counter. See how many times they say it. See,
Yeah.
man, look at that. Already got something new for the next episode right here, man. Thanks to my man Gonchi, my man, my little bro.
So if someone's like, yeah, dad, it's
Yeah.
like,
Bing, number 4.
whoa, bro.
Let's go.
Okay, so do I
Yes.
believe that aliens are real? Yes. Do I have a weird alien
Oh,
story? Yes. Ready? And
go ahead.
no one believes me. But this
I think
happened
you
when I
told me the
was
story
in
when
the
you're on the flight
Navy.
deck. Yeah, you're on watch.
Oh,
Tell it so people
yes,
can hear you.
bro. Okay. Okay, so I was on the flight deck and I used to work. I was a flight deck sailor, G1. It was the best time of my life. It was my favorite job I've ever had in my life. And I used to work the night shift. I would switch. You worked, day shift for half the deployment, night
Mm-hmm.
shift for the other half, etc. And I was on the nights and I was on watch. It was dead. No flight ops at night. Like there was nobody bothering me. It was awesome. I used to sit under the moonlight
True
and write
story.
rhymes in my little notebook. You know what I'm saying? And so one day I was like walking towards the front of the bomb farm, which to those of you who aren't familiar, it's kind of like the section of the flight deck where we
Mm-hmm.
store all the explosives. I was in the front and I was talking to a purple shirt at ABF and we were talking about nothing. And I remember we were both standing on his hoses, right? And the hoses that they put the fuel into the jets with. And we're just talking, we're shooting the shit. And I remember I had my hands on my float coat and suddenly I heard like some noise that I cannot describe to this day, but I was
Oh shit.
blind. I was like it was a noise. I went blind, but it wasn't like I lost my sight. It was like a piercing white light, And the split second before I closed my or before I couldn't see anymore, the whole flight deck
Oh
was
shit!
illuminated. Like I'm not exaggerating. Like I could see everything. And then I fell because I got like not like scared, but I got like so startled that I like fell, kind of
Yeah.
thinking I was getting like shot at or something. And me and this dude were like, "What the hell was that? What the hell was that?" And nothing. Like it was just like this piercing white light. I saw everything, weird noise. I fell, and then no one talked
Crazy.
about it. I went into flight deck control, and I was like, "Did you guys see that?" And they were like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "No one just saw the whole flight deck get lit up." And they were like, "No." I was like, "Yeah, we need to call general quarters up in here, man." I was like, "This is crazy." Like,
You motherfucker.
and me and that dude, we both thought we like were going crazy. It was to the point where like people told me I was lying so much that I was like about to start thinking I made it up. You know what I mean?
That's
It
crazy.
was so weird. And there's no other way to describe it, man. I think an alien put the flash
Right
on their
on.
phone and took a
Hell
picture
yeah.
of me. You know what I'm saying?
Throwback.
On their alien phone.
They're watching you right now. You know what I mean? Going,
But I really do, for real though. I do
oh yeah,
think
for sure.
there's
I
no way
believe
that
it
we're
too,
not
man.
alone.
I believe that we're not the only like living human species or planet that has living people or whatever on it. There's other galaxies, and we all know there's other galaxies out there, and there's other planets out there.
There's also so many good theories why humans exist and why aliens
Really?
are behind it all. Like, there's one, I'm gonna butcher it, so like I will get my sources if you want
Yeah.
to include it in your like bio or whatever. But it's like aliens put humans on Earth to like mine for
Damn.
resources. Like like an
Yeah.
like an ant farm.
Yeah.
How like it's just like little ants burrowing holes and stuff. They put humans on Earth to mine for things like gold and like other resources, but along the way, humans just developed. Like they, you know what I mean? Like a brain, like one idiot's brain became more,
Mhm.
smarter than the last idiot's, and then that idiot, was like, I can make a family. Then that idiot's brain was like, oh, now I can make a wheel. And then that idiot's, the next idiot's brain was like, I
Evolution.
can make an army, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Damn.
Exactly.
That's crazy, man. I believe all that stuff too. I don't like to think about it because it kind of freaks me out, though. You know what I mean?
Space gives me crazy
space.
anxiety.
Like I'll watch space documentaries and stuff. I like it, but then the thought of it is just like,
Me too.
man, for real.
It's just never. That's what gets gets me is that it doesn't end.
Crazy.
And also, who put space there? What is space?
Like,
Why is it there?
I like
what
space.
is up?
I like space
What
and
is
the
down?
ocean too, because the ocean is just like it's like space, but not as big. And there's like depths of it that we've never even encountered and stuff. So the ocean and space are like dope to me. Oh yeah, for sure.
Water scares me. I love I loved the water. Like I love being in the Navy. I love sailing. I love all of it.
Oh yeah.
But when we did swim call, I've never been more scared in my life.
There, man. And I saw a video last night where a dude, he had like a GoPro and they went cliff diving. He jumps in the water, boom,
Yeah.
and then his homie's on the cliff like, yo, shark. And he's like, what? So then he's like, he goes down, he dives down, big ass great white shark right there, fool. And it's like, what? Just the thought of the huge creatures that are in the water, man. Like, no way. Yeah, exactly.
That exists. I always say that to my girl whenever we see something like a movie or something with like an animal in it. I'm like, yo, isn't it crazy that we live on the same Earth as that thing?
Nuts.
Like, just a giant like a killer in the water, just waiting.
You're out there on a kayak and a blue whale breaches. Fool, it's like, no, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Fool, you remember Austrian, right? He was a first class, and he made chief, and he made gunner. Yeah. So he.
Then he made gunner.
One weekend, he came back and he was like, "Yo, man, I went kayaking. I was kayaking out there in like the ocean or whatever, and then all of a sudden, like 3 killer whales just came up right beside him, and was, like they weren't fucking with him. They just popped up.
Whoa!
And then like it was a pod, and then I was like, "Yo, what'd you do?" He's like, "Man, I turned around and paddled so fast, like for one, I pissed my pants when I was sitting in the kayak, and then I was gone. I was like, man, I would have lost my shit if that would happen to me, man."
Speaking of people who are built differently,
Yeah, that dude
Austrian was built different.
He reminds me of Cowboy Cerrone.
That he used to, that fool used to would ride his bike to a different state, run a marathon,
crazy,
and then ride his bicycle back.
Full. That's
Think
nuts.
about that.
I think that everybody is capable of doing something like that, but you have to train to do that.
Oh no, I know they are.
Yeah,
Bro, I know they are. Like, I know that. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm in a funk with the gym right now. I haven't been in a long time. I just like life's been getting to me. But like, I've also been in the seat where I'm like, okay, if I put my mind to it, I know I'll achieve anything I want. And like, bro, I've been 315 pounds and I can run a 5K race.
Nuts.
You know what I mean? Like, I tore both my meniscus, my MCLs. The doctor told me that. Excuse me. He said you're never going to run. You're never going to lift weights. You're never going to XYZ. And then I joined the Navy. I ran. I would run all the fucking time. You know what I mean? I lived all the time. I still do. Like,
set your mind to, man. That's a true statement. It's not a statement that people say just to say it. It's a true statement, man.
On the terms of aliens, kind of related. Do you believe that life is a simulation? I'm going to ask you that. I bet you weren't ready for that. Because they say that like things like if life is a simulation, that you know the secret, you know they call it, which is like is thinking positive thoughts like I am going to get the job, I am going to win, I am going to succeed. Those people all the most successful people in the world will say that that's all they did. They're like, oh, I just told myself that I was going to, you know, stick with it, and then I told myself I was going to go to that interview, and then I told myself I was going to get the job no matter what. Like, if life is a simulation, and you really do say those things,
and that's crazy because there's a dude who works with me now, and that's his motto. Speak it into fruition is his thing. He's like, because we catch birds and shit, we taxi birds. So if they're like a group of birds coming, he's like, no. He's like, they're not coming. Watch, they're not coming. Yeah, speak it into fruition. They're not coming. Fool. Like 9 times out of 10, they don't come. He's like, see, speaking in fruition, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
that's wild.
Damn. So, from that aspect, like thinking about that, I can see where people say that, man. I never really thought about it.
Or like what? Yeah. I've been doing cardio before, running, right? And I would tell myself that because I'm a psycho, I used to tell myself that if I can get to running 3 miles a day or whatever I run, if I can run, whenever I decide to run, if I can run 3 miles, I'll feel happy that I'm able to do that. Right. But of course, you know, whenever it comes to that last half mile, my mind's like, oh, I already did enough. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Because everybody's mind is like that. But bro, then I start telling myself the craziest shit to get myself through that half mile. I'm like, you're going to run. I'm like, you're running another mile. I have another mile inside of me. I'm running another 2 miles. I'm running another 3 miles. I'm not going to stop. I'm running until the gym closes. Like, I'm like, you're a killer. You're a psychopath. You're
about to go run a mile
like, but it's like, it's all, but it's like, but I'm telling you, you ever do that with your lifts? Have you ever had a heavy ass lift that you're like,
well, I did that the other day when I rode 16 miles. My legs were fried. And I was just like, man, like, nah. But then all of a sudden I'm like, hell no, let's go. Especially like if like say I'm riding and like see a person walking on the sidewalk, then it's like, no, I'm not gonna putt next. Yeah, exactly.
that person's gonna think I'm a bitch.
I'm not about to putt next to this person. I'm about to zoom by him. So then I just like go and I mean I do that a lot, like whether lifting or riding bikes, man. It's crazy. Yeah.
And if I stop, that person's gonna think I'm a bitch.
That person's walking their dog faster than I'm pedaling my bike. Like, no.
But it's the same thing. It's like listeners will say, visualize yourself, you know, with the lift. But it's like I don't believe that because you know how many times I visualized myself with like money. You know what I mean? Like no. But what does Ronnie Coleman do or did?
Right.
You know, lightweight baby. It's lightweight. It's lightweight, and he's squatting 800 pounds. You know what I mean? But it's like that's speaking it.
But at the same time, it's like you gotta be aware of like your capabilities. Like if you can't squat 220 pounds, you're not squatting 800 pounds just because you're like, oh yeah, let's go, baby.
Yeah. if this is your first time about to go to the gym after this podcast, start small. For real. Don't go for 800 pounds.
Way up, man, progression.
Wait, do you know what stiff as a feather, light as a board is? So like I've never done that, but I've heard tons of stories where people say like, they put the fingers under somebody, say stiff as a feather, light as a board, and when they say it enough, they can lift that person up. Fool, you're telling me life isn't a simulation, bro?
Like brought that to my attention. Like I'm gonna start really like analyzing that, man. Like simulation. I'm sitting here now, like,
So when I was, this is not a plug, but when I was playing Magic, right, and I was like, oh, if I get to if I can make it to the Mythic rank, right, I know that I'm gonna get, like a sponsor on this team, right? And I had one game to go, right? But every time it takes, when you get to the final bracket, you need to win like 6 straight games in order to get there, which is super super hard, right?
Yeah.
If you lose one, you go down a bracket. And I would win 5, lose 1, win 5, lose 1, win 5, lose 1. So I was like, oh my god, I'm never gonna get there. And my girl was like, oh, you have to say like, I'm gonna win this game, I'm gonna win this game, I'm gonna win this game. And she'll tell you, I was sitting on my computer like out loud, being like, I'm gonna win this one, I'm gonna win this one for the whole game, and I won. And I got to Mythic. I was top 1,500 in the world for that game, and then I got on that team.
Proud of you, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Shit, I'm about to make this podcast blow up, man. Watch. You know what I'm saying? Let's go, man. Don't worry about that plug, though. You know what I mean? With the
I like this. Yeah, I like this podcast though, for real. Like I told you, like I'm gonna give you some hype for a second on your own episode, on this own episode, man. But this is good stuff, man. I really like it. Like I was telling my buddy, I was like, it's super laid back. I left you a review, by the way.
About people.
I left the review and I said the same thing. I said you can tell it's genuine and it's just chill listening, and it is, because it's just like this long form conversation. It's just like, man. Two buddies, because I could go for another 3 hours talking about stories
for
with you.
62 minutes, so I got to wrap it up. You know what I mean? I got to wrap it up. But I truly, truly appreciate you, dog, for taking the time and coming on here and supporting me.
Sir.
Man. Yeah, I love you.
Always, man. I'll be back on whenever you want to have me back on, man. I love you too, bro.
Go ahead.
Before we wrap this up, let's think about a quick. I got a quick funny story for you. Ready? All right, so I was telling the story on my stream the other night, twitch.tv/MightyMagazord. It's going to be, the name's going to change to Shin Gonzalo soon, but I'll plug that later. But I was telling the story about how we were when the movie Sinister came out.
I got a story to come to back that up. Go
ahead. And for some reason, all the heads in the birthing were present for that one. And I was telling the story that we used to sit on the couch in the birthing, which is just a normal bullshit couch, but we fit like an Olympic row team. We would like fit a bunch of people on there, and I remember, I'm pretty sure it was me in the back, it was you in front of me, then like whoever else was in front, and my head was near like the pipe that was there. I don't know if you remember. And I remember something happened where everyone screamed, right? And you jumped back, and I smashed my head on that pipe because I got scared of you jumping. Like, I wasn't scared of the movie. I got scared that you jumped so bad.
It's crazy that you brought that up, because I watched a video. I follow this thing called Looper, and they were talking about, so they did a study of the top 10 most, the scariest movies of all time. But the way they did it is they had 50 people. They had them hooked up to heart monitors, and they based it off of like their heart rate and the reaction to the movie. So the number one scariest movie of all time, according to the study, was Sinister. So then I instantly, when he said that, I thought about The Birthing, and I was like, there was like 30 people sitting in that freaking lounge, and we were all just sitting there watching this movie. And like the scary, like the jump scenes had everybody jumping. And I remember Dinah was sitting on the ladder well, and he was like, ah! or something so loud. And then remember the chow line came through there up top.
Yeah, I said that in my story too. I said that we would all be so loud, and people would be like, "What are you guys watching?" They'd be like, "What are you guys watching down there?" Because it's so loud, exactly. And we would be like, "Fuck you!"
We jumped, and then someone's like, "What's going on down there?" We're like, "Fuck you! Shut up!" Fucking ignorant little fuckers. Oh, for real.
That could have been anybody. That could have been like the captain.
What's going on down there? Fuck you! Shut up.
And it was like, I wish I could emulate what it sounds like to have like 30 just like rowdy ass dudes being like, it was like a soccer game, like fuck you, yeah, fuck you, shut up, fuck you, bitch, like
stupid, man. Yeah,
and they were like, all right.
Let me wait for this food here.
All right, man.
Take
it easy.
Boy, there's something. I gotta end it. It's been 62 some minutes, but I can go on and on. For every time, I swear, there's something that you and I have done or said or created or whatever. If it happens in like my life, I automatically think of you, dad. I'm telling you, like the nuggets, fool. Every time my wife's like, yo, girls, you want some nuggets? I'm always like, I'm like, nuggets.
You're like, shit, nuggets. So mine is similar. It's you, and it has to do with nuggets, but it's whenever anyone talks about Vine, my first memory is that when I first got an iPhone ever, I got Vine because it was brand new, and Subway. I filmed you in a McDonald's.
Really? Okay.
No, it was a McDonald's. Hear me out. And I said, why are you mad? And you were like, I was like, come on, why are you mad? I was bothering you. And you said, because my friend, you said, I'm mad because my friend is fat. It makes me eat here every day. I was like, oh, damn.
Meanwhile, I eat there every day too.
You're like, I'm mad. I'm eating here, and my friend's fat. It makes me eat here every day. You did. Oh my god, it was like the best response ever. It was so
if you
fast.
Can pop that up and give it to me,
and I always think of your face.
Laughing. Oh, I know that, but
bro, it's Vine's dead.
MySpace, you know what I'm saying?
Like,
oh my god!
If I could find that Vine video, I would love it. It was. I think about it because I can like remember what you're like. I remember like the way Vine looked on a phone, and I remember like the face you made when I was in that video. Like you were so bothered by me filming you.
That is funny. I remember the Subway.
I remember that like it was yesterday.
My wife and I went to Subway, and then you took a picture, and you're like, "What's called Rob spotting?" I was like, "Oh my god." Great time.
Yeah, it was good times, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm mad, man. Because my first big PE here.
Oh shit, man! But I love you, Dad. I love you, man. So, man,
I love you, man. Please keep doing this forever. Please make 100
I'm trying to catch a million
episodes, man. And
I'm trying to be on that level.
All right. Oh, so then whenever you want me to be back here again, I will. Man. And I put you up on the. I posted the link in the Discord, man. I'm trying to put the message out there, man.
I appreciate the plug.
What you're doing, bro,
and the efforts you're doing to plug it too, man. Speaking of plugs, plug yourself now.
Yeah. So Twitch.tv/Mighty Megazord, and because I stream games, I hang out sometimes, and I just like to play games. I play a card game called Magic the Gathering, and I've been exclusively playing that because I'm trying to get sponsorships and I'm trying to do the thing and I'm trying to turn a hobby into something that I can work on. You know what I mean?
I'll let you finish. Any shout outs you want to give out to when you're done?
Oh, of course. And so one thing that I would like to say is that whenever I've had podcasts in the past, but I am starting one because when I saw how motivated that me talking to you got, you know what I mean? It motivated me to do the one that I had been holding in my pocket for so long. So,
hey man,
and I hope to have you on as the first guest as well. Ooh. It's going to be called "Why Am I Like This?" and it's going to be a podcast where, kind of like in the same vein that we talked about today, where like you ask a question like, you know, why, kind of like what makes you tick. Like, I want to find something about you that you are, you know, into, proud of, etc. And I want to know the machinations of those things. I want to know like fitness, like what in your brain makes you so enthralled with being a men's physique. You know what I mean? Like where does that stem from? And I'm not talking like fitness. You know, okay. So why do you like the gym? Okay, so what makes you like the gym? You know what I mean? Like
So-
I said. And that's it, man. I want to hang out. I want to have fun. I want to talk to you as many times as possible, man. And
Hey,
if I can
I
come on here a
appreciate
million
that,
times,
dog.
I will.
I appreciate that, man. Shout outs.
All right, man. Yeah, shout out to I forget the name of it right now. There's a podcast on a show called Doctor Who that my friend Steven runs. I want to shout that out. It is called
It's all good. Butcher it like I
How
butchered
Do I
your
Not
shit.
Have It? It's called The Web of Time, a Doctor Who podcast.
There
It
it
started
is.
on Yancey Street as a Fantastic Four podcast that I've slightly abandoned
That was
since
BC era,
since
huh?
COVID started. Yeah, it was BC
Yeah.
era. It was
Nice.
just I also moved, so it got a little bit complicated after that. If you also want to follow twitch.tv/slipthoughtx, that's my girl. She also plays a ton of video games. She's got her own little cult following. She
Ooh.
plays horror games like
I'm gonna
Resident
follow
Evil
that,
and
dude.
other shooter games. And shout out to Frost Call. Oh, twitch.tv/Frost Call Gaming. That's a veteran community. It's a community all for veterans in the New England area. What they do, if you want to search them up on Facebook and stuff, they have like battle buddy programs. They have barracks nights. It's all veterans that kind of like look out for each other. They raise money for veterans, and they just make sure that their own are taken care of. And I really respect that. So, and you can donate to them, I think, through their Facebook right now, and then also on their Twitch, they're raising money for
Hell yeah, man.
like
Good
veterans
cause. Hell
awareness
yeah.
and stuff.
I like it.
And shout out to the
There it is.
AOs all over the
There it
world.
is.
Ayoyas forever. I got that shit tatted on my hand, like my placa, like in Blood In, Blood Out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 5.
All right, man, but I'll let you go. I've kept you for too
Oh, yeah.
long. Is this the longest episode now?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
All
I
right.
think people are going to really like this one.
All right, now.
A different point of view, a different voice, so it's different. Hopefully, the lengths of the episode don't deter people from listening, man. But those who are really into podcasts, they're not going to give a about the length. You know what I'm saying?
I'm excited, man. I'm really. What's next? Without giving too much, what's next for the
What's
podcast?
next in
We'll end
regards
on
to
that.
the show, or like the next guest, or
Yes. Anything, man. Give us a little preview of the next chapter, man.
Me personally, I just want it to get better. I want it to be a smooth sailing ship. Like now I have my first guest, you know what I'm saying? I got to top this guest, which is going to be hard with the next guest. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah,
So,
good luck, brother.
I just want to put out good episodes and quality episodes with perspectives that people can relate to and, find interesting. So, I'm just going to continue on, man. It's a learning process, and hopefully people will stick with me and we learn together. You know what I'm saying? My man, that's what I love.
Anything I can do to help, I'll always be there, my bro.
Yes, sir.
So be easy.
Yeah,
How do we sign off? Can we just say goodbye?
Thank you guys for listening. Everybody out there listening, man. Thank you to my guest, Gonzalo, Big G. Find him like he said on the Twitch.
Yes, sir.
Follow his following or become his following. And, just keep supporting, man. Look out for what Gonzalo has going on, too, in his future podcast, too, man. So, everybody listening, thank you. Any final words, G?
Yo, ready? On 3,
Let's
we
go.
go, YeahDat. And then it ends the episode.
Yeah.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
And there you have it, folks. The episode with special guest, my brother, Gonzalo G. Mendez, man. I really hope you guys enjoyed that episode. And I apologize for the towards the latter end of the episode. I guess the content was it was a bit off. Like my commentary came like slightly before his in certain parts of the podcast, and that's just due to the connections between the two, mine and his. But other than that, it still was a good episode. I enjoyed it. Once again, big thank you to Gonzalo for being my guest. Thank you to everyone who tuned in and listened to it. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please make sure you go on whatever platform it is and you either subscribe, rate it, comment, and just give kudos, man. Also, please, if you can, do the aforementioned things so that I can get a better feel of the type of episodes that you guys like. Also make sure you follow me on Instagram at westcoast_Rob. You can even follow me on Twitter, man. I'm kind of jumping back into the Twitter thing, westcoast_Rob. Also follow Gonzalo at Harsh Noises on Instagram, and then follow him on twitch.tv right now / Mighty Megazord, but I believe he's going to change his handle. But once again, thank you guys for listening. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you. And until the next episode, thank you. YeahDat.